Man, I can sit here and listen to this all night. I can sit and listen to that shit all night, I hope. Everybody's doing well. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Clint. Looks like you guys are the first two joining us here this evening. What are we talking about? Well, we're continuing on with our Astral Series Part 7. Hope sound is coming through okay. Bandwidth meter looks alright. Everything's looking good. Got vape, got batteries, got Dr. Pepper. Life is good. This topic this evening, Part 7. Depending on how much interaction we get in the chat room, depending on how many people are actually here this evening, I realize Michelle says, got smokes, coke, and a chair. You on the way. Depending on how much interaction we have this evening will depend on how long this particular topic goes. Not everyone in shamanism has a great hall. Not everyone in shamanism has a great meeting hall where they meet with their counsel. And the thing you need to understand, those of you that are just thinking about shamanism and what it is, not everyone is going to have a counsel. Yeah. Now, I've covered the counsel in other videos in great detail under the tradition, the GCS tradition and such. You're welcome to go back and watch that if you want to learn what my counsel is, how it works, and how it operates. Clint says I need to run Cat 6 to the front room. Yes, sir, it's a whole lot better than wireless. Trying to stream video wireless, that's iffy at best. Always best to go wired if you can. Get wired before streaming video. No, I'm joking. What is the Great Hall? Well, it's a meeting place. I will tell you, the entryway to mine is very unobtrusive. You'll miss it if you're walking down through the woods. You'll flat ass miss it if you're not paying attention to what you're looking for. Now, whether or not my counsel decided it needed to be that way or not, I don't know. Ever since my first meeting with my counsel back in 2001, something like that, I thought it was rather odd that they would build the Great Hall in a cave opening. Rather interesting. Like I said, very unobtrusive. Generally, when I request meeting with counsel, I generally request through Spirit Guide. Spirit Guide will sometimes go for a walk with me through the woods to the hillside where my Great Hall is. And I enter into a very nondescript cave opening. But the fascinating part is when I enter the opening of the cave, the first segment of it looks just like a cave, like any other cave. I walk what appears to be walking through a wall of the cave into a small hallway where it goes down and it makes a sharp U-turn. And after that sharp U-turn, you go down, I don't know, a 2 or 3 foot wall, and then it opens up into this huge, humongous, beautiful chamber of a meeting table stretched down the center, um, benches on each side and across the back. The table has 9 chairs, 10, one for myself, should I choose to sit. Most of the time I stand because generally my meeting with counsel is usually not very long. Normally, I go, I ask a question, I get my answer or not, and I bow and I leave. Or I bow and I hear and I'm out, I'm gone. Sometimes I'm back in the astral garden. Sometimes I'm at the astral college, the acoustic records, or other places I may have requested to go after the meeting, or someplace council decided they wanted me to go. That is usually the case. I've heard the description of the meeting of people's councils around a campfire, um, in a great big stone building off of the acoustic records. Um, I've heard of a myriad array of descriptions of meeting halls for individuals who have a council. So as you can tell, there's not typically generally one meeting place for everyone for the council. Your astral will depend on the makeup of your astral. Um, Clint says his council of 9, 5 are hidden at the moment, so he has 4. That would be that would be the representations of north, east, south, and west. The elemental council apparently have not made themselves aware to Clint yet. Oh, but they will, given time. Clint, you can also request for the meeting of the hidden 5, if you're comfortable with the 5 elements of the earth. Hey, Cindy. I can tell you, for those of you watching that aren't quite sure what it is Clint and myself and Cindy may be talking about, is the Council of 9, which the Grove of the Celtic Shaman has the Council of 9. We have the 4 elements, we have the 5 elements and the 4 cardinal points, right? Sometimes those members of Council of 9 will name themselves. Then, of course, also up at the head, sitting kind of back off a little bit, in my council is the triad, should they need to be there. For those of you that don't know what the triad is, it's Great Spirit, God and Goddess, or Great Spirit, Goddess, and God. It depends on who's talking, or what variable of Great Spirit is talking. Great Spirit is an androgynous being. And like I say, you can find out more information on councils and such by watching other videos. Right, so the Great Hall of Council, or the Great Meeting Hall, or the Council Hall, or whatever the hell you call it, if you have one, is a place that you can request to go. You can request a meeting with your council anytime, day or night. I don't recommend I don't recommend you call a meeting of council to find out what color to paint your living room. I don't recommend that you call a meeting of council to find out whether or not you should take a particular road trip. That's shooting a fly with a shotgun. Typically, whether or not you should take a particular road trip is perfectly handled by your spirit guides. That's their job. You don't need to call the council to shoot a fly with a shotgun. And I say again, I damn sure wouldn't recommend that you call the council simply on something as trivial as what color to paint your living room or your bedroom, or whether or not you should buy a particular carpet. I have seen people that will call their council before they do anything, and it just drives me bananas. Right, so we have a yes, Clint says it's kind of spooky when they pull you into council meeting at work. Hey, Dave, that can get a little spooky, for lack of a better term. Driving down the road, I've had council pull me in while on the road trip. Luckily, physical body knows how to drive the car quite well. Luckily. The one thing we could definitely remember about the Great Hall, about the Council Hall, is I say again, you may not have one. If you don't, it's no big deal. Not all shamans have council halls. Dave is in Gary, Indiana. Boy, this guy gets around. One minute you see him online, he's in Louisiana. The next minute you see him online, he's at home up north somewhere. And then again you see him in Gary, Indiana. Boy, this guy gets around. Right. So, if I wanted to, driving trucks. That makes sense. If I wanted to, I could essentially end part 7 right here. The Great Hall, you either have it or you don't. The Great Hall can be accessed by requesting through your spirit guide, hey, do I have a council? Where are they? If I do, where are they? If I do, can I meet them yet? Ask. Ask, can I meet them yet? If no, say okay. If you are told by spirit guide you don't have a council, here's where you can push it just a little bit. You can say, spirit guide, do I not have a council? Or do I not have a council yet? Is a council for me in my path, in particular shaman? They may say yes, they may say no. And I've been asked a couple of times, why isn't your astral series more concrete? Why is your astral series full of variables? And it leads them to the next question. Why isn't everyone's astral the same? Well, for the same basic reason, typically you design your house slightly different from everyone else. Let's say you move into a neighborhood. All of the neighborhood houses look different on the outside, right? Cookie cutter houses. Doom, boom, doom, boom, doom, boom. They stamp them out, they roll them out in flat pack, and they put them up. There's a house. Looks just like every other house. But you do little things. You might have a garden. You might have different color walls, different type floorboard on the entryway. You might have tile. Somebody else may have hardwood. Somebody may else have laminate. Somebody else may have carpet. So the astral is the astral. Okay? The basics of the astral is essentially the same. You access it. We all access it essentially the same way. Have a good night, Dave. We all access astral essentially the same way, either through deep set meditation, through dreamscape, or through spontaneous astral. It's a good thing if we all, if we all respect the astral gateways, the entries into the different realms, most especially the entrance. If you have a council, if you have a council chambers, if you respect the entryway into the council chambers. So outside of the astral being the astral, outside of accessing it essentially being the same, outside of respecting the astral and the realms essentially being the same, anything outside of that is as different as you are. Like somebody says, we're all different. Absolutely. I can't tell if that's Clint or Cindy. Somebody got booted. Somebody always gets booted on Facebook. But when you're thinking about, and for those of you that, again, I say are watching these pre-recorded broadcasts for the first time, and you're just wanting to get into shamanism and find out what it's all about, and in days, weeks, months, years to come, if you're watching these broadcasts, keep in mind that not everyone is the same, and you're not supposed to be. Astral travel is designed for your own particular personality set, your own particular spirit set, and the way you see yourself in your spiritual realms. Outside of how you get to it and respecting it, everything else is relatively different. The Akashic records, the Hall of Records, like we talked about in weeks prior, it tends to be described real close to the same by everyone that I have talked to that has achieved astral and that has achieved access to the Akashic records. Counsel, on the other hand, like I say, is as varied as we all are. You will see posts by Clint and Cindy, and you're welcome to reach out to them and ask them questions. They were trained by me under the tradition of the GCS. They do have councils. How they get there, I don't know. What their councils look like, I don't know. Interesting part, I never ask. Hey, there's a Garrett having some streaming issues on my end. I'm showing streaming up at 2.6 megs in the green, so maybe maybe some Facebook throttling issues or something. Sorry. Garrett, thank you for watching. Yeah. But to those of you that watch later, don't be afraid to private message any one of us. Um, Send a message in the chat area. One of us will get it sooner or later. Facebook tends to not be in a real big hurry to post comments on my videos. I've seen times where it may take 2 days for me to get notified of a stupid comment in Live with the Shaman or Open Pagan Church. Best way to reach one of us, tag all three of us and PM us. Go over to the Open GCS, right? Log in, join, ask your questions. We'll be happy to answer them. Yeah, Cindy, I check it daily too. I mean, I don't actually go all the way into it, but I look through my notifications. At work, I don't have much time to do much of anything anymore. So what I'm trying to do, I guess, is stretch this out a little bit and at least make this broadcast 30 minutes. Give people a chance to ask questions about um, the meeting hall of the Great Hall of the Council. There's not a whole lot I can tell you about mine, other than, like I say, um, the chairs that surround the table, they look uncomfortable as hell until you sit in them, and then it's rather wicked nice. They just adjust to your weight and make you comfortable. Same way with the benches that line the walls. I've come in prior to council. Sometimes now this is one of the things that I did want to cover. I almost forgot. You can access your Great Hall of Council without council present. You can. If you want quiet time, if you want time in a completely soundproof room that is the perfect temperature for whatever you like, if you like it warm, if you like it cool, if you like it tepid, okay, whatever. But I have been known to go in to the Great Hall and just meditate within my meditation, if that makes any sense. You can meditate within your meditation. Sometimes wisdoms will come to you. Excuse me, sorry. I've been trying not to yawn, and damn, one of them snuck up on me. Sometimes wisdoms will come to you while in a second level meditation. This is a meditation within a meditation. And I will end up covering more on multi-level or multi-layer meditations when I do my regression series when I come back off of my vacation at the at middle to the end of November. Clint and Cindy are getting their systems fixed up and ready. They're going to do Live with a Shaman. I'm going to continue to do or try to do Sunday morning Open Pagan Church. I'm going to try. It depends on whether or not I can do it after I get all of my equipment tore down. So the thing with the Great Hall, yes, it is the meeting place of council. It is the meeting place of your seps or your friends of other realms that may come to council. The Great Hall is where you will normally get called if you screwed up and you get called before council. Yeah. Generally, the shaman burnings for me take place in the Great Hall. There are the different color fires that are the different stages progression of shamanism. All of that is done right there in the Great Hall under the protection of the council. Because when you're going through your shaman burning, you're you're very vulnerable. You're very vulnerable to outside attacks because there are no shields, there's no guardians, there's no protection, there's no nothing. So my particular council um, likes for me to go through my burnings and certain forms of my guardianship education in the Great Hall. So again, it's a nice place to sit and relax and enjoy some peace and quiet. It's a place to go and learn. It's a place to go and listen. There are times, and I will tell you this, there are times in the Great Hall that I have been called before council. One, as a witness. Two, to sit and listen. Many times I have been called as a witness to people or members of the GCS who have dishonored council and dishonored the GCS. First year students that have not been doing their assignments. First year students that have not been taking care of business and doing what needs to do within those assignments. Um, Council will call a meeting as to what to do with them. So that is a less pleasurable job of my master priesthood and master of the grove. I don't seem to be getting much of a vape, much flavor out of my vape tonight. I may have to rebuild it. Probably not. Yes, Clint, you did okay. So, there just really isn't a whole lot else we can talk about the Great Hall, the Hall of the Council. I do want to remind you, though, those of you watching these things, a lot of people, and this is kind of interesting to me, these videos are pre-recorded for your viewing pleasure. These videos are located at the following places: here on Facebook, YouTube, Reddit. Yes, they're on Reddit. And they're on Pinterest. Pinterest? Yes. The videos are also on Pinterest. And they're also on Tumblr. And when I can, I also upload them to my, what the hell is it called? There's another place. Pardon me. Shit, that one snuck up on me. Stumble. That's it. StumbleUpon.com. I'm also on there. And every chance I get, when the link pops up, I also tag them over there as well. Excuse me just a second. So when I upload these videos to YouTube, I have a number of my other social networks that I'm on attached to my YouTube. So it asks me with little buttons, do I want to also pin it on these sites as well? Open Pagan Church is pinned on all of them as well. So is Live with Shaman. So yeah, we're out there. And it always fascinates me that people come back and say, but I missed your video. Go back and watch the recorded version. But I missed some of it when I watched the recorded version. Click rewind. Oh, I can do that? Yes. You can click rewind on videos on the internet. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, now you know. Anyway, Astral Part 7 was the Great Hall, the meeting hall of council. And I want to close with this, right? I want to close with this. Not everyone has a council. Every shaman I've ever met does have spirit guide or spirit animal of some kind. Not every shaman I know or I've met through the years has the same great hall. In fact, I haven't heard anybody yet describe theirs exactly like mine. And when it comes down to it, not everyone's the same. These videos are designed to give you a little bit of a push, give you a hand and a nudge in a direction that you can open the door to a whole new world of what's out there. So with that being said, we're going to call it a short night. I'll give you back the rest of your Sunday. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week with Astral Part 8. If you want to know what it is, look at Live with a Shaman. We'll see you next time here on Live with a Shaman. Have a great week. Thank you for watching.